Good evening, everybody. I'm Fox 2 News meteorologist Chris Higgins. I want to bring you an update on this Sunday evening. Obviously, the race preventing us from doing a newscast this evening, but we can keep you up to date here on fox2now.com. Big story today has been the rain and a pretty good temperature gradient, temperature contrast from southeast to northwest. It's been all about spring-type temperatures again over our far southern counties, where highs today were well into the 40s, even some lower 50s. It's 46 as of this recording at Farmington, but Cape Girardeau's 51 and 52 this hour in Mount Vernon. Further to the north and west, cooler, 39 degrees in St. Charles, and northerly winds taking control in Quincy and Columbia. Quincy's at 34. They've had a mix of rain, sleet, and snow all day, and it's been a day of heavy snow for folks up in Kirksville, upwards of a half a foot of snow having already been reported in parts of northern Missouri. Here's the way it looks as of 5:45 on the digital Doppler, and you can see this is all rain on the radar scope over eastern Missouri and southwestern Illinois, with rain extending east and west along Interstate 70 and continuing to build in from the west and southwest up I-44. No question it's going to be a rainy evening here in the St. Louis area. The question becomes what happens as the rain begins to move out. At this point, looks like the low-pressure system responsible for this spinning out of southwestern Missouri this evening will kick off to the northeast along the I-44 corridor. That storm system will be followed up by a weaker little system coming hot on its heels across Kansas and northern Oklahoma. You can kind of see a little bit of spin in the rotation with this thing, and as that lifts from southwest to northeast up I-44, that will give us a little burst of snow on the tail end of the rainfall after midnight tonight. You can see that with the Futurecast. We'll put this in motion through the rest of this evening. The green and yellow is indicating where it's raining. The yellow is the heavier rain. The blue will be where the snow is. And as we track the low pressure systems from southwest to northeast, you can see that in general we are looking at a storm system that will track right over or just to the east, southeast of St. Louis, should end up by 4 o'clock in the morning over eastern Illinois. That in turn will put down that little area on the wraparound side with that follow-up system of a little burst of light snow, a quick burst of light snow in the tail end of the storm. Looks like sometime between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. I don't expect any significant accumulation, maybe a light coating on grassy surfaces, and that would be about it. So the highlights for tonight: periods of rain will continue through late this evening. Then after midnight tonight, look for the rain to transition to a quick burst of wet, sloppy snow on the tail end of this storm system. It looks like that'll be sometime between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. Any accumulation will be confined to grassy surfaces in the metro area. It should be light coating at most, less than an inch. Until you get up to maybe around Bowling Green and perhaps as far south as Troy, maybe a dusting to an inch, maybe an inch or two up there in Bowling Green. But for most of the viewing area, this is a light coating to no accumulation type of a storm system. The storm itself will move away fairly quickly late tonight and tomorrow morning, taking the heavy snow up along the Mississippi River from northeast Missouri into northwest Illinois. Chicago should see some pretty decent snows out of this. But for us, as the low moves away to the north and east, we end up with a cold and gusty northwesterly flow behind it. That means temperatures will stay on the frosty side in the 30s with a few morning snow flurries on your Monday. So the forecast tonight: rain will come to an end after midnight, probably ending as a very brief burst or a quick period of wet, sloppy snow, a light coating at most on grassy surfaces in the metro area. 32 degrees, that low. Could be an inch or two of accumulation up in the Bowling Green, Pike County, Missouri area late tonight and early tomorrow morning. During the daylight hours tomorrow, any snow will be ending as flurries. It's cold, it's breezy, northwest winds at 10 to 20, high temperature around 34 degrees. That should stay pretty steady in the low to mid-30s throughout the day. In the next 5 days, on Tuesday, partly cloudy, cold once again, 32 degrees. A strong cold front with a pretty good wind burst with it will come through here Tuesday night into Wednesday. Probably some light snow and flurries with that. Minor, if any, accumulation, just reinforcing the cold, below freezing the rest of the day Wednesday and into Thursday. And we should pop back to and just above freezing on Friday. So again, overnight tonight, mainly looking at a rain system with a quick changeover to some heavy wet snow briefly before it comes to an end before the morning rush hour. I don't expect any road problems, just basically looking at wet conditions. Have a good night, everybody.